Broome was founded in the late 1880s as a pearling port. It boasts a multicultural population with Kopanga, Malay, Chinese, Japanese, European and Aboriginal cultures, all blended to create a captivatingly welcoming and colourful personality that is the heart and soul of Broome. The resident population is about 14,400 and this swells to around 45,000 during the tourist season. Originally called Japtown, Chinatown features historical buildings standing side by side with the architecture of the modern world. A delightful reminder of the early multicultural mix of people in Broome, this original commercial centre of Broome was once the bustling hub of pearl sheds, billiard saloons, entertainment houses and Chinese eateries. Chinatown is now home to some of the world's finest pearl showrooms along with a variety of retail outlets. Nestled in the centre of Chinatown is Sun Pictures, the world's oldest operating picture theatre. Officially opened on December 9, 1916, the Sun Pictures was named oldest open-air cinema in operation by the Guinness Book of World Records in 2004. Coulomb Point Lighthouse was first built in 1905 as a 47-foot open-brace steel tower. In 1922, the Coulomb Point Lighthouse was demanned, and in 1984, another new tower made of stainless steel open lattice with tube columns was built. At low tide, dinosaur footprints, dated at over 130 million years, can be seen in part of the reef. A plaster cast has been made of them and is embedded into the rocks at the top of the cliff. Anastasia's Pool is an almost perfectly round pool which was hand-built by a former lighthouse keeper for his arthritic wife Anastasia. The high tide would fill the pool and she would exercise her limbs in it. Long renowned as one of the world's best beaches, Cable Beach takes its name from the submarine telegraph cable that was laid in 1889, connecting Broome to Java and becoming the main form of communication between Broome and the rest of the world. Today it is a popular location to relax in the sun, go for a swim, sail on a pearl lugger, go fishing, or just watch the tide go out and enjoy a magnificent sunset. Okay, well the tide is in, so therefore right, no driving on Cable Beach right at this point in time. Just on 4:30 and this is the beach, tide's on the way out, Cable Beach. And those rocks certainly weren't there earlier on. Well they were, but they're underwater. Okay, it's 4:42 and we're making our second run down to the beach here at Cable Beach. And as can be seen, the tide is now out. It's like Hay Street down here. There's the camels. Talks about crocodile country, wet season road closure, tourist information, fire rating today is very high, current road conditions, they're all open, two-wheel drive vehicles and caravans not recommended at any time. Okay, let's go and have a look. About 3 kilometres up the Cape Leveque Road, there's a turn off to the left, and that takes us down to Coconut Well. Apparently from there you can run along the beach back towards town, but we'll go and have a boat peep. It's called Leveque Rd. We have arrived at the beach at Coconut Well, and apparently when the tide is out it is possible to drive all the way back into town along the beach to the northern part of Coulomb Beach. So we come back up to the bitumen. This is the gravel bit of road that we were talking about. This goes on to the southern end of Willie Creek, we think. So we'll go and have a boat peep. The only signage around the place is one saying for sale. 10 acres. So as we hit the top of this, there's a private property on the left, keep out. There's a turnaround right here. And there's a little road going straight ahead with a signpost with no sign. So we're going to take this track and see where it goes. We just had a vehicle going the other way who told us this is the road up to Willie Creek, as we thought it might be. He went past on another side track and I hung my head out and said, where does this road go? And next thing you whacked it into reverse and I literally ground to a halt, came back, said, no brakes, he said. And then told us that yes, it goes to the southern side of Willie Creek and it's going where the GPS is telling us it's going. So where we're up to. Is that the road?
This is to the main road and this is to Willie Creek south.
Okay, there's a road up to our right just here, which goes to the main road apparently. Okay, crocodile safety. So they're certainly talking about crocodiles right here. Another flying insect, and just across the way, just over the way is part of the settlement, so there's Willie Creek potentially. So that's where we are, and directly opposite us is the Willie Creek pearl farm area. Now that's where we are in the middle of the screen, but we've got to go all the way around there to get to the other side. Back on the red road again.
That one, this one, what?
Okay. This is what we were looking for, but we were looking for another cut across to it, and it didn't happen. At least we hope this is the one we were looking for. According to the map that we're following on the GPS it is, so there we go. Finding a few rather large termite bounces through this bit of country here. So we were following a road which was a dotted road, looking for something that was a little more major. And this is what we've found. We're now on the major bit of the dotted road, well, of the road. It's exactly the same as the dotted road. Well, there's a road coming out of there. Wonder where that would be. There's a road. Okay. So according to our GPS, we've now crossed country that just marked as a road, is that right? But we have come to the main road, or a main road. That was fun.
About 2 kilometres up, you turn off to Willie Creek.
Right, okay. It's the turn off into Willie Creek. And of course, there's a bit of activity happening up here because of the gas thing. Reached the turn off to Willie Creek Pearl Farm. Willie Creek. We're just approaching Willie Creek, and here it is, a 3-day camping limit here. You can camp for 3 days, that's the maximum at a time. That's where our earlier video from the other side of Willie Creek was taken from. Group of tourists waiting to get onto the boat. A group of tourists taking a class in what happens with the pearls. And yes, these things do exist up here. We've finished at Willie Creek now, and we're going to take one of the coastal, if you can call it that, sand tracks up towards our next destination. The road out here is round to the right, but we're going straight on. There's a water tank here. This is Bar Creek, is it?
Yep.
When we videotaped this last night, it was full of water. That's the difference this morning at low tide. The ocean is just over the way behind that. As we follow the track around, and we're following alongside the river, which is about 20 metres to the left of us, there's all these little campsites. It's not a bad little place to camp for the night. So as you come out of the maze of tracks, or the track that runs along the creek, which goes nowhere, you come back onto the main road again, if you can call it the main road. So we're approaching the point of Bard Junction, Bard Creek. There's a fancy fence along the way here. We've just driven down to the mouth of the Bard Creek area, and this is what we've been driving alongside. Very interesting stuff. So we've climbed up on what I'm sure is coral, and then it just drops away into the ocean. Beautiful little beach here. And further along, if you're prepared to drive along there, beautiful beach down there, and there are people fishing down there as well, and camping. We're heading back towards the Munget Road, I think it's called. It's the main road up, or the main road up the track, up the coast. And this is where we're heading back to at the moment. Okay, we've had a change of heart. We actually drove past this crossroads. This crossroad is marked as a T-junction on our GPS, and we'd actually gone past it, and Munget Road is further on. Although there's no track marked to it on our GPS map, but we've decided to follow this particular track up the coast, again, close to the coast. And incidentally, this track is marked on our GPS. And nice wide corners. Something like an F250 or an F350. I don't know that I'd bother about coming down here, because you probably take the side of your vehicle out. It really is only basically Land Cruiser patrol sort of width. But then again, it's the same with a lot of the roads out here. This is very similar to the way the Holland track is. And they're an absolute delight when you meet someone coming the other way, because there's tons of room to pass each other. Yeah. The track is now really opened right out. Oh, the country has. Did get out and climb that coral bit, but we've been on the road a little over an hour now. We've done 12.4 kilometres. So there's no racetrack out here, that's for sure. And then all of a sudden to the left of us is ocean. That might do it, I think. Yeah, someone's camped here.
Yeah. Beautiful spot to camp.
So bring the car down, you can camp just there, right here, look at the ocean. Okay, we're back on the track heading back up towards Quondong again. So along this section of the road there are certainly a few little camp spots off to the side, right on the ocean. Easy access. And we've got someone coming towards us. Yeah. No problems on your own?
Yeah, we are.
Good, thank you. So are we. There we are. Waiting the caravan right there. A few camper trailers and trails and things. Someone set up for a while by the looks of things. Oh, we got a couple of caravans here. This is going to be interesting. Now here's a bit of a sight reminiscent of wood bonding wagon train, and they're all set up in a circle. This is some of the beach at Quondong Point. Just about every camp spot's taken here at the moment. There's a lot of caravans up here. Obviously come up the main road. There's our wagon train lot. About 1 kilometre north of Quondong Point, the road runs out and there's this delightful little spot just here. There are a few people camping in the area, quite secluded, and some not quite so secluded. We're heading back down to the main camping area. That apparently is Quondong Point where we've just been. Down here is part of the Quondong Point Reserve, I suppose it could be said. Got the camping area. And then we'll go down and back onto the Minari Road and up to James Price Point. Right, here's the turn off now to Price's Point. This is James Price Point. And the beach is backed up by these beautiful red cliffs. And there's camping along the cliff tops here currently. We'll drive along the top of the cliff, and there's plenty of opportunities to camp. We've left James Price Point and are now heading for Coulomb Point. The road appears to follow the coastline fairly closely, so it'll be interesting to see whether we get much of a view of the coastline as we go. I'm not a fisherman, as you probably gathered from our series of DVDs, but certainly all up here fishing is what it's all about, apparently. Nice ocean scenery along here. Take a look back there.
Yeah.
James Price Point, and then the beach coming around. Amazing country.
We found a car down on the beach that has got bogged. Go. Yes, it's moving. Yes. Fantastic. Because the tide's coming in and these guys would have been really stuck if we hadn't come along and been able to pull them out. Yeah, right, there's the car we've just pulled out, and Laurie's up there just unclipping our car so we can continue on our way.
We've just had lunch and left what appears to be the main Munget. No, is it the Munget? No, it's not. It's the main track, isn't it, really?
We're on the main track to Beagle Point.
And we're heading up to Coulomb Point, where the track is now definitely de-escalated. Don't know if that's the right word, but that'll do. This is not a track to bring your caravan up.
No.
Well, you might have it.
I think we've seen the end of the caravans.
That's camper, isn't it? We're at Coulomb Point. And perfect place for swimming by the looks of things. Someone's brought their van out. It's all sand up to here. And down behind us is the inlet. decided to give Cape Earthlight a miss at this point in time. It's only another 5 or 6 kilometres up the road, but again, the track deteriorates apparently. That's not a problem for us, it's just really a matter of we've got a lot of other stuff that we have to do, and we're now pretty much a fair way into day 2 of our journey, and we've got to get back onto the other road to start moving north again. So we've got a fair bit of backtracking to do at this point in time. What a fabulous coastline. So far on the trek, we've since we left the Turnoff, probably somewhere around about 11:15 yesterday. It's now 1:30. The next day we've done 155 kilometres. Just to give you some sort of idea of the amount of ground that you are likely to cover. Should just make a point here that the tracks that we've been following have been definitely four-wheel drive tracks. However, this is the Minari Road, and if you're thinking of towing a caravan up to any of the points that we've had a look at, then this is the road you would travel on. It's pretty reasonable for towing a caravan on, and you can get as far as James Price Point, maybe just a bit beyond. About to hit the Broome-Cape Leveque Rd. And now we're back on sealed road again. We approach Beagle Bay. Right, we've just turned off the bitumen and we're going out to a place called Whalesong, where we've managed to secure ourselves a camp spot for the night. It's out past Middle Lagoon, and this is the road in. The track is now at least a two-wheel track. It's a little bit improved over what it was before as far as smoothness is concerned at this point in time, but Whalesong, here we are.
That should be the first one up there.
That's the camp spots just up there on top of that cliff. We're now standing on the beach directly below the cafe and office. We're now approaching Middle Lagoon. Welcome to Middle Lagoon. Ice creams, drinks, bait, bread, milk, canned food, snacks. All business must stop at the office. That's fair enough. Just driving around the roads on the property. Peter Howard was the guy who started this place, and he died around Christmas time, age 70, far too young. So what's this lookout called now?
This is Islands Lookout. It's named after the white-breasted sea eagle that sort of nests around in the area.
But these trees are a Canaria tree. We're now heading into the Gnylmaraung, I think it is, community. At Gnylmaraung, you've got the choice of a secluded unpowered campsite. There's a shared camping area, or there's cabins. There's also a well-appointed kitchen area, and if you wish to do some fishing, you can hire their boat, and a guide will take you out to their favourite fishing spots. And while you're cleaning your fish, there's a chart on the wall which will actually help you identify exactly what it is that you've caught. We've made our way back to the Broome-Cape Leveque Road, and we're now going to continue travelling north. Back on the bitumen. This is the Mudnum Turnoff, and also Bullies Camp, which is where we're staying, at Djoodoon, 8 kilometres down the road. Here we go. Might put my wheels back in again. Chances are we won't need it, but it doesn't hurt to have the hubs in, so if you do need to pull back on the four-wheel drive, you can do it. Keep in mind that all roads off the bitumen are pretty much like this. Djoodoon is 1 kilometre to the left, and that's where we're going to Bullies Camp. Mudnum is straight on.
Whoa, shit! Right, so travelling a bit fast.
Locals? No.
Terrorists.
just come back to the main road from Bullies, and we're about to turn onto the main road and head up towards Quondong Point. What's that doing on? We're approaching Quondong Point. Seems we need to call into the administrative office, pay a small fee. Yeah. Attention visitors and party store. Okay. Oh, look at a decent sized store there. The first thing you do when you arrive in town is report to the administration office, which is directly opposite the Bardi store, Djoodoon store, and it is a well-stocked supermarket. Prices are reasonable. On paying your entry fee, you're given a mud map of the area showing where you can go and where you can't go. You cannot go into the sandhills, and that pretty much it at the moment. Let's have a bit of a look around. Let's head around towards the hatchery. There's an airstrip runs right down the centre. It's right in town. It's a gravel airstrip. Quondong Point is Australia's only trocus hatchery. They're open 6 days a week. They do tours twice a day, and it's right on Quondong Point. This area is called Middle Beach. They're allowed to drive on the beach here. This is Leveque Beach. And this is one of their favourite swimming areas. Certainly a great swimming area. Tide's out at the moment. There's certainly a lot of beach to play with. It should be noted that you're not allowed to venture into the sandhills. It's all sacred ground. Yeah, just up the road from there was the Goombading Campground.
Yeah, this one's in the book.
Eh?
This one's not in the book.
No, it's not in the book, no. Bo Peep up there. Check the police station out. Police have got their own little road down there, and we're now approaching the turn off to Lombadina. Also Willie Creek. Just at the office, and where's the office? Office, there we go. Coming from the south, that's well signposted. Coming from the north, just be aware of where you're at. There's a bitumen road that turns off. This was the Beagle Bay community. We've got in here right on lunchtime, so nothing's open. We did manage to get a look at the church, and we're now going to take the bush track cut back to the highway between Derby and Broome. Now we've just turned off the main highway and following the track across towards the Fraser River and then down to the Great Northern Highway. It splits the Great Northern Highway between Derby and Broome, about 100 kilometres out from Broome. Okay, the road the last couple of kilometres has deteriorated, and we're about 16 kilometres into it at the moment. It's just suddenly deteriorated to the sand track. It was a firm, got a little bit corrugated track up until then. Very sandy section here. Corner and four-wheel drive, you just keep pushing through it. I'd say it's been a few days since this was graded. Tack a few or whatever you want on top of that, months or whatever. Well, now we're back on the track similar to what we started on, and it's reasonable going on it at the moment. Still a bit of a crowd in the middle, but right on the button. Here we are, the turn to the right. Take Leveque unauthorised track to the left and Derby to the right. And we're heading down towards the Fraser River. Okay, we just stopped and let the tyre pressures down about 5 or 6 pounds. More of the back tyres. Already it feels a lot softer. Just try and give the suspension a bit of a rest. That was getting pretty rugged. Water hole down in front of us, so the road actually skirts that. We're actually only 11 kilometres from the Fraser River, but according to the speedo we've still got about 17 kilometres to go, so the road is obviously winding around a fair bit. Back on the main track again. So for some reason the road turned at right angles a little way back. Travel this way, which is actually parallel to where we're going for about 5 or 6 kilometres, and then the road twirls around and goes back the other way again, so I don't know what it's around, but it explains the differential between the crow flies of the GPS and the speedo. A whole heap of creeks through here, and I get a feeling that maybe this road's following one of them. I've got 500 metres, you reckon we're on it, do you? It looks like it's one of the streams, eh? It's one of the streams, definitely. Well, it's just on 30 kilometres to the highway from here, so here we go. Just as a matter of interest, we left what's the Beagle Bay? Beagle Bay Mission at 1:15, and it's 3:31 at the moment. One of the creeks we're going to go through. There's a few of these, I believe. In the Traveller's Guide by Ron Moon, he talks about this part of the trip now being when the country opens out, you can probably find some spots to camp, and I can see exactly what he means. It really has opened out quite a bit. Just been through a gate. There's another gate here, so it's a double gate setup. And the road's fenced on both sides. Hopefully their comments re a well-maintained road get better of it, because there are places where the road is not very well maintained at all. So interesting one in places. The road is definitely changing. Bit of water running down this way, it's up the sides. They're well chopped away. White, wouldn't it?
It's hard to see.
It's the old rule, of course, if you find them open, leave them open. If you find them closed, leave them closed. on this property. They're all fairly close together. And they don't all swing the same way. This one's actually open. Or it was supposed to be open. And just to finish it for us, water and a gate. If you're coming in off the main road, the corner is quite easy to pick because there's a building right here in the corner, and written on the top of it is Kimberley colour stone. And then there are gates that you've got to go through. It's a public road. So this turnoff is 110 kilometres from Derby. It's 110 kilometres from Broome. Well, that completes the Dampier Peninsula portion of our Kimberley adventure. Next, we look at Derby and the Gibb River Road. Currently running beside an airstrip. Speed hump. Okay, be mindful, where it says speed hump, it is a speed hump. We've just reloaded everything from the front of the car back into the back of the car again. Pushed the dents in from the roof where the heads went through it. That was one hell of a speed bump.